Hi there, it's Steve and Peg from Loves to Travel. Thanks for checking out our videos, do appreciate it. Today I'm going to do something a little on the different side because we're going to stay home today because of this whole coronavirus thing. We just feel like we want to stay home on a Sunday afternoon. And I'm going to do something that I discovered years and years and years ago. I'm going to make banana bread today and I'm going to show you how to make it. Thanks for subscribing to our channel if you've already done so. If you've not, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button below, and you'll be notified of when we put up future videos. First thing I want to show you on how to make banana bread is what you're going to need, because there's going to be a lot of things that you need. It's actually really simple to make banana bread. I found a recipe years ago that I've kind of worked with. I mean, I can't even tell you where it came from, I'm not sure. But it works and makes great banana bread for us. Before you even get started, make sure there's nothing in your oven. So I'm going to have my wife Peg, who's on the other side of the camera here. She's going to move the camera around to show you what I'm doing here. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to go over and just preheat my oven. First thing you want to do is make sure, obviously, that there's nothing in it. And you want your grill, your grate, to be on the center rack, which is pretty much where mine is right now. Preheat your oven to 350, but keep in mind oven temperatures vary. We found that we have a gas oven. My old oven, which was electric, I used to have to set it at 350. This I set at 325 and it works perfectly. So I'm going to set mine at 325, but my recipe does call for you to set your oven at 350. Again, oven temperatures vary, so know your own oven. So let me get this thing started here real quick. Okay, I'm preheating my oven. So what you're going to need, you're going to need flour, you're going to need sugar and eggs, you're going to need butter, you're going to need salt, you're going to need baking powder, or baking soda rather, and you're going to need baking powder. So that's what I have these here for, is to measure these three things out. I've already measured the sugar out, but I'm going to be measuring the flour out. Now the other thing you're going to need is bananas. Look for ripe bananas. These are perfect for banana bread, but I need 3, so I got to grab another one and I'll mix that in. What you want to do is you want to take your bananas, and again, the riper the better, because that's when all the sugar comes out into the bananas as they ripen up. So you just take those bananas out of there, and you need 3 to 4 bananas. I use 3 normally and it works pretty good. So you have 3 bananas, and I'm going to get rid of that right now into my sink, and then take this other banana and put that in as well. Now you notice that this one is not quite as ripe, but you still have to mash it up into the rest of the bananas. If I can get rid of that. Take your masher and just mash your bananas up. This is what you want to do first, because you want the bananas to sit there for a couple of minutes and juice up. So you get your bananas all mashed up. And then just let it set for a minute off to the side. You put that off to the side for half a second. Next thing you want to do is you want to mix your sugar and your butter. So I'm going to put my eggs off to the side real quick. You mix 1 cup of sugar, and I've already pre-measured the sugar anyway. So you want to take your sugar, and I've already pre-melted my margarine, 1/3 of a cup of margarine, 1 cup of sugar, 1/3 of a cup of margarine. And you mix those 2 things up real quick. So all you do is just mix it up. And again, remember, all this time your oven is preheating to your appropriate temperature. So you've got the butter and the margarine mixed. Then you stir in your eggs. 2 eggs. Stir in your eggs. And again, do it next to the sink so you can rinse your hands off in between, oh, I got a shell there. In between adding ingredients. Mix your eggs in. Get it all nicely mixed up. Then you want to add 1/3 of a cup of water. So put your water in. Give your bananas another swish. Put your bananas in. And then you mix these and you stir this for about 30 seconds. So you don't just swish it and let it go. You stir it for about 30 seconds so it gets all nice and mixed up. And once again, I'll say the riper the banana, the better the banana bread. You see how that's all nice and liquidy smooth now? So you put that off to the side. And then you want, for this, you're gonna want 1 2/3 cups of flour. This is a 1/3 cup measuring, so I'm gonna use 5 of these. Four and 5. So I've got my flour in. And then I want a teaspoon of salt. I'm sorry, a half a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of salt. So you get your half teaspoon measure. And I always do this over the sink so I don't get any extra salt in the recipe. You want a full teaspoon of baking soda. Full teaspoon of baking soda. And I always use the top of that thing to level it off. Just like that, so you get a full level teaspoon of baking soda. And then you want a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And again, that's your leveler right there at the top. So I've got that in there now. Now, if you want, for your recipe, you can add a half a cup of walnuts or mixed nuts or some kind of nuts into your recipe if you want. Because what that'll do is that'll just add some flavor. We don't like the nuts, or if you've got a nut allergy, you don't want to do that either. So you can or you cannot, depending on your own personal taste or your own personal needs, add nuts to this recipe. So at this point, you're just stirring it up and getting it all mixed in. And it takes a couple of minutes to get all the flour and all the stuff all mixed together. So once you get this all stirred up and mixed up, you can either use a 9-inch loaf pan or an 8-inch loaf pan, depending on your own personal preferences. And the other thing I do is I spray the bottom of it with Pam. Just spray the bottom of it, and that's all you really got to do. And then it's just a case of putting it in. Now my oven is already up to about 245. It's only going to take a few more seconds to get up to 325. So there you go. That is a banana bread that's going to be going in the oven. Now, 55 to 60 minutes is the general rule of thumb for how long you want to leave this in the oven. The best way to check it is I set my timer for 55 minutes and then I stick a toothpick in it. If you can stick a toothpick in it right around those sides and it comes out clean, it's done. If it comes out still a little sticky with batter on it, give it another 5 minutes. So let's put this in the oven and set the timer for 55 minutes. Put it in the middle of the oven, by the way. Set your timer for 55 minutes. So we're gonna let that cook for about 55 minutes and we'll come back and check it in about 55 minutes. So one of the things I do after I make banana bread, I make my wife happy and I clean up after myself. So use a couple of minutes after you get everything all done and in the oven and just clean everything up and put it in the dishwasher and make your wife happy. So that's what I'm doing right now. One of the things I will tell you is eggshells and banana peels do not go down the garbage disposal. So make sure they go over to the trash. And there we go, all cleaned up. We'll talk to you in about 50 minutes. Now, remember at the beginning of this, I said that the recipe that I found called for 55 to 60 minutes at 350. Our oven is set at 325. We're probably about 45 minutes in. So another quick peek real quick, and we're gonna shut the oven real quick just to see what we're doing. Oh, it's looking real pretty right now. So we'll give it another 10 minutes, and then we'll stick a toothpick in it and see if it's done. So if you remember when we started this, I told you that oven temperatures vary. My old electric oven, we used to be able to cook at 350. This gas oven that we have now, it's at 325. And we set it for 55 minutes for the banana bread. Anywhere between 55 and 60 minutes is what the recipe calls for. But when it hits 55 minutes, just check it with a toothpick. What I want to do is I want to stick a toothpick. We got 10 seconds before it beeps. I want to stick a toothpick into actually both sides of it, the left and the right side of it, and make sure it comes out clean. If it comes out clean, then the banana bread is done. So let's check it. Oh, that looks so good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick a toothpick here, and that actually came out clean, see? So I'm gonna take another one and stick it on the other side, and that one came out clean as well. So we have banana bread that is done. So there you go, a brand new spanking fresh loaf of banana bread. And it will taste as good as it looks, trust me on this one. We'll let it cool down a little bit before we cut into it. All right, so we've let our banana bread cool for about 20 minutes, so we're gonna cut into it and see just how well it turned out. My wife loves the middle pieces. I don't mind the ends, so I'm gonna cut a couple of pieces out of here. One for me. Ooh, that's nice. And one for my wife. Now, it did crumble up a little bit. That's my fault because I didn't cut it thick enough. She doesn't like butter on her banana bread. I love butter on my banana bread. So I'm going to take a little bit of butter and put it on my banana bread and watch it melt all over that. That is, oh, look at that melt. So let me get a fork. And we'll just see how this turned out. Yep. There you go. If you're stuck at home and you have bananas that are going ripe, let them go super ripe and then make banana bread. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. It'll be really good. My wife Peg is going to put the recipe up so that you can actually see it printed out. Again, it's a recipe I found a long, long time ago. I have no idea where it came from, but I've been using it for close to 25 years now, and it makes great banana bread. So thanks for watching. Do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy your banana bread. And make sure if you haven't subscribed to our video channel, you do so now. Just click the button below. Also click the bell notification button below. You'll get notified when we have future videos put up. So enjoy the video. Thanks for watching and bon appetit.